Perfect. Go.
Okay. Oh, okay, hold on. Research. And I can't do this, babe. Hey, everybody. Christy Mills here, coming at you from my living room in front of my Christmas tree. So happy to be bringing this video to you guys today, and this is my 12th take, but I'm doing it, and it's just taking me a long time to put my thoughts down on paper and how I want to construct these videos and make them useful, make them not so rambly like I normally do on my stories, and just get to the point but also be authentic about my experiences. Recently, a lot of you know, I went through my first pregnancy at 35 years old, and it was a really awesome one. And you know, I don't say that as a braggy thing, I say it as my philosophy of life and my routines and all the things that I have done for so long. I really put to the test the most I ever could by completely going through a transformational experience like giving birth to your first child. And you know, even before I met Skylar, even before, you know, I started trying to have kids or even thinking if we wanted to have kids, I started doing things that, one, would put me in optimal health, and two, could give me the best option at whatever age I wanted to have children by implementing every single day. I knew that in my brain. But again, it's a touchy subject. Pregnancy is a touchy subject. You know, one person can have an amazing experience, the other person might have an awful experience. And there's some gray area with that. You know, when you get pregnant, it's like, oh, your life's gonna come to an end. You're never gonna sleep. You're gonna have aches and pains. You're gonna puke every day. And you know, it was always the wait till your 3rd month and your 6th month and your 9th month. And then when you give birth and this is gonna, you know, and there's just a lot of negative connotation around it. I don't know if you've noticed on social media or wherever you graze online, people like to gravitate towards negativity, and including myself. I have been, you know, very vocal about things that are not so positive in the world the last couple of years. But when it comes to pregnancy, I really think it's a time where women should be, number one, supported, number two, given the right information. Now, I'm not a doctor. Y'all know that. I'm not a doctor. But I don't think you need to be an expert to conquer yourself. Like, if you're a woman and you're watching this video, like, you are the expert of your body. You know yourself, you know what makes you tick, you know what you do right every day, you know what you don't do right every day. And if a lot of you have been following me for a while, you know that routine and implementing routine is the most important thing next to my family and my health. It is everything to me. It is when I'm traveling, I'm doing the same thing, sort of. Like, I have a line that a guideline that I follow, that I'm doing every single day. I'm taking the same things every day, drinking the same water every day, trying to eat the same sort of food every day, you know, as far as like hitting my protein, which we'll get into later, but just doing the same things every day that are going to create long-standing results with my health, my looks, how I'm aging, how I feel every day, how my sleep is, et cetera, et cetera. You guys get that. And, you know, it was always something that I wanted to do for myself was have a child, because it was the one time in my life where if I had heard it once, I had heard it a million times. Wait till you have your baby. You'll never be the same. Your body will never be the same. You know, there's just things you read too. It's not just things that people would tell you. It's things that you read online and you see online. And I just wasn't going to be that way. You know, I was like, I'm going to have a kid later in life and I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And I was so confident in myself and the things that I have implemented, just doing things every single day, that I just, in my heart, knew I was going to have a great experience, and I did. And sometimes I don't think there is enough good information out there for women to have that is just real, raw, honest, you know, no bullshit. You know, I'm never going to feed you guys bullshit. And there's just a couple things that I wanted to go over in this video to share with you what I did before my pregnancy. And then we're going to have a couple videos after this one to talk about during pregnancy, and then after pregnancy, because postpartum is just as important as the start. Now, again, preface, not a medical professional. Please, if you have questions, go to somebody you trust that's in the medical field if you have questions. I'm going to have some links down below to some really helpful things and podcasts and blogs that were very, very helpful to me through my journey. And then also, you know, for some, this might not apply to you guys. You might not have the same journey that I do, and you probably won't. But I just want to preface for the women out there that are asking, you know, I never had a lot of issues with my cycle. I never had endometriosis, PCOS. I've never struggled with women's issues when it comes to, you know, being regular every month, sorry. You know, I had normal periods every single month since I was young. I was also on birth control most of my life. So just to preface a couple things. Also, I don't smoke. I don't just smoke pot. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't vape. Just trying to think of some things daily that, you know, might make your health a little shitty. So aside from a little tequila, I'm gonna jump into some really healthy things that you guys can do to get ready for your pregnancy if you are in that start of your life, or maybe if you're going to have another child soon or try to have a child soon, maybe your second pregnancy will be even more amazing. All right, guys, so if you are out there and you are actively trying to get pregnant, thinking about getting pregnant, and you really don't know where to start, what I would recommend you do is go out and buy a prenatal vitamin. Now, to some, this might be common sense, but to others, it might be something that you just think you take when you get pregnant. You want to take it early on. So early, you could take it a year before. I started taking it 3 months before trying to conceive. And the importance for a prenatal is folic acid. Folic acid is something that you can get in your diet. So if you're somebody that's munching on kale and spinach all day, all the power to you. I'm not that girl. I don't eat a lot of greens. I eat a lot of red meat though. Okay, we'll get into that later. But you want to get folic acid without thinking about it. Just pop it every day in the morning in your capsule. Folic acid is going to help with the earliest, most critical stages of fetal development. So it's just imperative that you guys are consuming that some way, shape, or form. And if you're going to take a prenatal, you know, get some kale, spinach, your leafy greens, you'll be good to go. The second thing you guys want to look for is a prenatal that contains DHA. Now with your prenatal, you know, you're getting your folic acid. It's also giving you the extra nutrients that you might not be getting from your diet and you might not be supplementing. So vitamin D, calcium, iron, iodine, literally, you're gonna get all in your prenatal. The second thing you're looking for, like I said, is you wanna find one that contains DHA. DHA is where your omega-3 fatty acids are gonna come into place. Research has shown that omega-3 fatty acids play a critical role in regulating your sex hormones. As you can imagine, when you're trying to conceive, that is very important. The second thing that omega-3 fatty acids have been proven to do for women is it improves your egg quality. And second most importantly, is it improves your cervical mucus. Why is this important? TMI. Might help the sperm swim a little bit quicker to the egg. So the first point here, guys, go grab your prenatal, DHA, folic acid, consume that 3 months to a year before you're trying to get pregnant. Let's move on to the next point. So the second tip that I have for you guys sort of happened by accident. I sat down and started writing out what I was doing before I was trying to get pregnant, and this is just something that fell under a category that I think is super important, and it really follows the pattern of the omega-3 fatty acids that we just talked about in the first point with the DHA. So I wanted to get the purest form of omega-3s. I always have for hair, skin, nails, and I started taking cod liver oil because it's the purest form. You can get it on Amazon, I'll have it linked below. It sounds gross, but it's not. You can get it unflavored, you can get it lemon flavored, do a tablespoon in the morning. I do it before coffee, water. I do it the first thing I do in the mornings. But it just plays off of the omega-3s. Now omega-3s, like we talked about, some of the benefits with your egg quality and your hormone balance, you know, it also helps with, you know, the development of your baby's brain, eyes, heart, nervous system. It helps to lower your chances of getting preeclampsia. There are so many things around omega-3s that are wonderful for pregnancy. Now the downside to cod liver oil, and this is where I don't want to get too sciencey, and where it becomes a little more controversial, is cod liver oil contains vitamin A. As many of you know, with retinol, you put it on your face at night, helps with anti-aging, which was really what started me on cod liver oil. But when you started looking into it, as far as the vitamin A goes, there's a lot of controversy around consuming too much vitamin A during your pregnancy. I'm gonna get a little bit more into this with my diet, and what I'm gonna do to be a little bit more helpful to you guys, I'm gonna link a podcast below of 2 doctors that I followed for quite a while when it came to fertility and pregnancy that can give you a way more sciencey version of why cod liver oil and consuming vitamin A can be super helpful during your pregnancy. Again, I just want to preface, I'm not a medical professional, but it's something that I've been doing for years. And regardless if you're trying to get pregnant or you're just watching this video for fun, I encourage you to get yourself some cod liver oil and start taking that every single day. All right, guys, so we're going to move away from the supplements and we're going to get back into some things you can do pretty easily and for free right on your phone to try to get pregnant. The first thing I did was I downloaded the app called Flow, F-L-O. I'll also link that below. But, you know, I'm a firm believer if you want to get pregnant or you're thinking about getting pregnant and you're actively trying, you need to actively track. Just common sense, especially for someone like me who didn't know anything about cycles and ovulation. I mean, I knew the basics, the bare minimum, but I didn't know when to try to conceive and what time of the month and how to do it. So I downloaded Flow, the app, and it was super helpful. And if you have a normal cycle, great, super easy to use. You just plug in your start date and your end date of your cycle. And if you don't have a normal cycle, it will help you kind of work through that. You can start putting in dates of when, you know, you had your last cycle, how long it lasted, and it'll help track to the best of its ability when you should try and what days of the week to do that. And if you're someone like me who didn't know anything about this, there's more that goes into it than just trying and it magically happens. So I did track it, and I did get pregnant my first time. So I'm not saying it's because of that, but I knew when to have sex, try to have a baby. And I wouldn't have known that had I not downloaded that app. So that's my third tip for you. So the fourth tip I have for you, after you download the Flow app and you start learning about your cycle and when you're ovulating or when you think you're ovulating, you want to go on Amazon and you want to purchase some ovulation test strips. I think I bought a box of them for 50 or 100, and I think I gave them to my girlfriend last time she was here. But anyways, I digress. With the ovulation test strips, one way you can tell if you are truly ovulating is by reading how purple or how pink these test strips get. Again, I did not know about this stuff, so this is for people out there that are clueless. So you take the test strips, when Flow is telling you that you're going to start ovulating, you pee on the test strip, and it's trying to sense how many luteinizing hormones are in your urine. And the more you have, the more purple it is. The less you have, the less purple it is. And the closer you are to releasing an egg is the darker and darker the purple gets. So I just started tracking, you know, if it said Monday, I would pee on it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday, it would get really pink, Friday, Saturday, and then you can kind of gauge when you want to try to conceive. So just again, something that was foreign to me and was super helpful, and I'm also going to link those test strips below as well. All right, guys, we're on my fifth tip, and probably the most important. And it's never too late to start eating right. And if you will hear me talk about anything, it's going to be diet, diet, diet. I don't say diet as something that you're depriving yourself of. I'm thinking of diet as something that it's a lifestyle, something you guys should be doing every single day, not thinking twice about it. People ask me, what are you eating? It's pretty simple, you guys. It's not hard. I'm eating an animal-based diet. I'm eating what we were born to eat. That's grass-fed beef, real butter, high-fat ribeye steaks, eggs, cheese. And what that boils down to at the end of the day, guys, is I'm doing a high-fat diet, I'm doing a high-protein diet, and I'm doing moderate to low-carb. Now, glucose is important. You need glucose for energy. I'm not saying to eliminate all carbs from your diet. What I am asking you to do is to pick carbs that are not processed. Try to eliminate processed shit. Try to eliminate seed oils and sugar. Now, sugar and seed oils are hidden in most everything that you see at the store, unless it's coming from the ground or coming from an animal. But try to eliminate it as best that you can. I know it's hard. I'm not gonna say never splurge, but my splurging doesn't turn into a cheat day that lasts 24 hours. I'll have like maybe a treat. I think that the food and things that you're putting in your body are the foundation to everything, to pregnancy, to fertility. And I don't say that lightly. I think that your diet and what you're consuming every day plays the most critical role. So if you're out there right now and you're like, no, I just don't know where to start just eliminating sugar. Start eliminating processed foods. Start having whole foods with your meals. If you're a vegan or vegetarian, I'm sorry if that offends you, but I do believe in an animal-based diet. And with my diet and what I'm consuming, I cannot leave out being active. You know, they go hand in hand to me. I think the food and the working out go hand in hand. If you don't have one, the other one doesn't matter. I really believe that. If your diet is crap and you're working out a ton, you're not helping yourself. Number one, with leaning down, gaining lean muscle, but you're not doing your health a favor by eating like crap just because you're active. So pairing the activity. Now, with COVID and all this stuff, a lot of you realize that you can do a lot of this activity at your home. I think that was the best thing that came out of COVID is that you could start to learn how to be active at home without having resources like going to a gym. So, whether it's you guys just tracking your steps every day, I'm gonna get in a lot more of this into my pregnancy, but just start watching your steps, you guys. I mean, start with a goal. See what your base is, start with a goal. I posted something on my Instagram the other day of like having your starting points, what's good, what's great, what's excellent, and what's overachieving for steps. And you'll notice when you start tracking your steps, how active, more cognizant you are about being active and just seeing, okay, I haven't moved much today. So it keeps you going. That's one easy thing that I start a lot of people out on, is just starting to track your steps, seeing how active you really are during the day. And then you guys can move into other things, but the most important thing, eating well, being active, okay? Forget just being a gym bro or heading to the gym every single day. If you're not there yet, that's okay. You can always start in the kitchen first. Those 6 things with being active are the things that I think are an absolute must with starting your pregnancy journey. So I hope that a lot of you found this helpful, and I'm done talking today. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video.